Pink Ladies T-Birds just happen to be watchers of my shit. Thank you for joining me for part 2 of the Dragging of Lucian Piane. Side note, the actual, this is actually part of the We Need to Kiki About series, which are special drag race reviews if you're not familiar with my channel. But I've already done 2 on this dude. Okay? This is the third, part 1 and part 2, because this is the third. We don't need to kiki about this motherfucker no more. I'm not on it. I don't want to hear he has a mental illness where, you know what? People with mental illnesses need to be medicated. And if he going on rants and raves like this, well, he ain't got no family, ain't nobody looking out for him because the motherfucker Smooth just said he was going on tour. IJS. Now, I was going to go ahead and watch the whole thing so I didn't have such a long part 2. And I'm sitting here and I started watching it as I was uploading the other video. And this motherfucker just said he needed to learn his history. He got 3 years before he can run for president, but you only 32 years old. For those of you that don't know, you have to be at least 35 to run for president of the United States. And he said that he's going to brush up on that because while he's on tour, he's going to watch fucking PBS. We currently have a president that doesn't fucking read and doesn't know fucking history. We don't need another one, and I'm going to keep it 100 with you as somebody that would only have been able to run for president now for 4 years. There's a reason why you have to be at least 35, and there's a reason why no president is actually that young and gets elected. You ain't got the life experience. And the way you're acting, you clearly don't have it. We got a motherfucker damn near 70 in the White House that don't got the life experience. Because again, while you want to remind yourself because you're a privileged white male, a lot of times white privilege will make you delusional. That's why you have so many people who say racism isn't a thing anymore. Prejudices aren't a thing anymore. We accept the gays now. Okay, y'all thought that and you seen what happened in the last election, right? Okay, so let me get back on it.
But I'm not prepared to debate the presidency yet. Definitely not.
You not prepared to debate on this live stream.
Debate stage. Oh shit! Watch out, motherfuckers. I was a debater in high school. I come from a family of lawyers and judges.
So you come from a family of okay.
Get ready.
You come from a family of lawyers and judges. You come from a family of lawyers and judges. This is why I said y'all can kick rocks on this he mentally ill shit. For real. Not saying that he may not have a mental illness. Because mental illness is classified, a lot of things are classified into mental illness. I have a mental illness. I have anxiety disorder. That's considered a mental illness. You can have a mental illness and still be functional and still not be this dick. Also, this is not the first time he's done this, you see. Also, I want to say this. Since we still talking, since he wants to bring up white privilege, I'm going to bring up white privilege. Let's talk about Kanye West for a minute. Because this is some similar shit going on. Kanye West spazzes out like this. Kanye West is threatened to run for president in 2020. Kanye West has delusions of grandeur, like he is like the smartest, most best person in the world. Kanye West reminds people who he's associated with that makes him that great. This motherfucker had a nervous breakdown on stage, and y'all motherfuckers clowned him like ain't nothing wrong with Kanye. He just wanted to get out of that tour. Kanye West is, correct me if I'm wrong, 40-something years old. Early 40s, but 40-something years old. Did not grow up in privilege. His mother was a college professor, though. But has basically been in the music industry and successful in the music industry. So, and I'm sorry y'all gonna hear my notifications going off because the first video is posted and people are responding. But when motherfucker said he had a breakdown and it was a mental issue, y'all laughed at him. So don't come at me motherfucking using that as an excuse for this motherfucker. Because Kanye West has been showing signs that he wasn't right and don't nobody want to believe it, but this motherfucker go on 3 motherfucking tirades and oh, but he has a mental illness. That's some white privilege shit. Let's continue.
When you run for president, you should use "Let's Revolucion" as a slogan. Hell yeah, I will. Yeah, and I already know that I think the Spanish is spelled with the O, right? Revolucion.
Oh, now you want to use...
Well, this will be Revolucion.
You want to run for president and use a Spanish slogan. Real fucking smart.
Hello from Argentina.
Hello from Argentina.
What's up? Not happening. Oh, okay. I got a hater in here. It's all right.
I got a hater in here.
Make me greater. Oh, I like that one. So
you don't got
not
it
happening. All right. Lucian, what do you think of where people are asking real legit questions now? That's very cool. Lucian, what do you think of the Philippines being under martial law due to terrorists trying to take over? Well, the terrorists trying to take over probably aren't real because nobody really wants to be a terrorist. So either the terrorist person is not being fairly represented and so they're pissed. So you gotta address that.
Jesus, I'm trying not to go off on this camera, y'all. This motherfucker just said terrorists wasn't real. I want to remind you of a couple of things once again. A, you are an avid Trump supporter who ran his whole campaign based on fear, and a good part of that fear was we're not doing enough about ISIS. We got to stop terrorism. But the terrorists in the Philippines ain't real. First of all, why don't you look up the definition of a terrorist? There's even a reason why there's a term called a domestic terrorist. Okay? Y'all want to think a terrorist is, jihad. That ain't all terrorists. You want to keep it 100? Hitler was a terrorist. Napoleon was a terrorist. The motherfucker that did the Post nightclub was a terrorist. See, and this is the problem. And this is why this motherfucker has a platform now, which is also why I have one too. But it's the gift and the curse. Because everybody think their opinion is right and everybody think their opinion is important. I'm no exception to the fucking rule. However, usually if I come out, it is, if it's not me reviewing a TV show, if it's something like this, it's a counterpoint. You don't have to agree with me. I just know that there are people that do. But again, you can't. Y'all want to talk about fake news and shit. Okay, well here's some fake news for you. Every time it's something about a terrorist attack, it is always Islamic people. Like people from other races, people from other nations can't be terrorists. A terrorist attack does not have to be based in faith. It does not have to be based in race. A terrorist act is an act of terror. You are purposely doing something to not only kill a lot of people, but to cause a panic. That is what terrorism is. They are trying to cause panic to get their point across. That's what it means. But ever since 9/11, all terrorists is Muslims. That's not true. You know who else is a fucking terrorist? Or will be if we don't get that shit together real soon? Kim Jong-il. Like, I can't with this dude. I just can't. And this video is already 10 minutes long. So let me get to the point.
Bad.
I'm trying to get to the Ariana Grande shit.
It's a false flag terrorist, probably perpetuated by someone affiliated with the United States, if not the United States, because we're that fucking horrible to everyone, everywhere. Good. Anyway. That's horrible. So, I would fucking go to the Philippines and I would fucking figure out what the problem is. I'd meet with the leaders and I'd say, what's the problem? What do you need? What will bring your people more joy and less pain? And then I will do that.
Oh, and then you will do that.
What will bring your people more joy and less pain? In every country that I go to. And I will get the best, smartest fucking minds that you have ever known in your life. And believe me, I already know some of these people. Some of them are mad at me right now, but by the time I'm running for president, they will be on board, believe me. I know the smartest people in advertising and marketing and I know futurists, trend spotters. What's the other
trend spotters? Trend spotters.
People that are like really high level in the business world, but have a conscience and a heart. And I would use those people's talents, and the presidency will use those people's talents.
Okay, A, y'all already know what I'm gonna say. Who he sound like? Don't worry, I'll wait. Who he sound like? Okay. We good? We all got our answers in? Everybody got their answers in? Okay. B, if you know all these fucking people, why is they letting you motherfucker unravel live on motherfucking TV for everybody to motherfucker see? Or I shouldn't say on TV, the internet, but whatever. You know all these people, oh, but they mad at you, but by the end they'll be on board. That's not how this works. That's any of this fucking works. Like, is y'all hearing what I'm fucking hearing on this shit? This shit's fucking insane. I'm trying to get to the Ariana Grande shit, man. I swear I'm not doing no 3 parts to this shit.
I'm just running the show. I'm the conductor, so to speak. I will make sure those people use their talents. That's better. Use their talents to better the lives of everyone on the planet. And that's the goal.
But see, as President of the United States, you have to worry about the betterment of this country first.
Look, I'm not dismissing what happened over in Manchester.
Okay, here we go.
I think that obviously that's terrifying for anyone in the UK. If you're in the UK, first of all, you don't carry guns and you don't
That's true. That is true.
Experience any crime whatsoever that often.
Well,
in the U.S., however, 22 people is not a lot of people, and like sometimes a car pileup on one of our freeways is more than 22 people. Okay, so are we talking about the lives of the people, or are we talking about the way in which they died?
Okay. Okay. This motherfucker just said, because I'm not sure if y'all are hearing this or not, so let me translate it in case y'all ain't. This motherfucker just said, in England, that's got to be terrifying for you. Terrifying. What's the root word of terrifying? Terror. What's the root word of terrorist? Terror. Okay. Number 1. Number 2. You're in England, so you guys aren't allowed to carry guns. There's some truth to that. I know there is some different laws and things that are much stricter about. They ain't gun happy like we is over here. Let me just put it to you like that. They're not experiencing as much crime as we are. I don't know where you got that from. It's crime everywhere. There ain't nowhere that's devoid of crime. And just like people will say, oh, well, yeah, it might not be as much crime in this little podunk city where it's only 200 people that live at, which is a ton of those in the United States. But there's plenty enough to make up for in big cities like New York, Chicago, Cleveland, LA. So if you've ever watched a fucking movie, you think people are making up, like you think Guy Ritchie just always got all these crime movies because they just based completely in fiction? Or The Kingsman? Like, no, it's crime over there too. Like, it's ghettos over there too. It's motherfuckers that live a life of crime over there too. So that's dumb. And then you said, but over here, 22 people getting killed at one time and a lot of people. First of all, anybody getting killed is one person. One person getting killed is one person too many, regardless. Let's put that out there. Number two, he said he compares it to 22 people dying in a pileup on the freeway. Okay, so now his question is, I'm scared to go into it, y'all, because I feel like I'm about to pop off and have to cut this off. He says, so are we upset about the amount of people or the way they died? I'm sorry to say, but if 22 people at one time get killed for any reason, plane crash, car crash, terrorist attack, mass shooting, 22 people died at one time in the same place, they just in a building and the building collapsed. I don't think it matters. It's 22 people that died tragically before their time. Period. So what the fuck is you talking about? Okay, now.
This is a very important question.
This is a very important question.
No one ever actually asks this question.
Not to you.
I'm always like, wait a second. Why aren't we talking about the number of casualties and the number of people affected? Because if we're going to talk about that, there's a lot of other nasty shit going on that should be getting more attention. And that is my pure and only single point. And then I turn on the news, Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, and I look through all of them, and they're not talking about any of that other shit. They're not even talking about people's lives. The only people's lives that they're talking about right now are the people who are killed the most dramatically, right? Dramatic. But let's be honest, what's more dramatic? A 40-person pile up on a freeway, or somebody walking in and going and killing, or a bomb? What's more dramatic? Probably the guy doing that, because you sit there and you go, oh my God, how does a person do that, right? Because the freeway thing is probably an accident. But what if the freeway thing has a drunk driver involved and they made a really, really bad choice? And what if that freeway person was like, actually, I'm gonna fucking purposely turn like this, and then causes a 40-car pileup? Do you still think that the thing with the 22 people is worse than the 40 people? Because that happens, but it's never covered, right? So the fucking thing that's happening in the UK is getting weird attention, in my opinion. Weird attention. It's not necessarily wrong or right, but it's getting attention that gets the spidey sense going, wait, what? Why are we talking about that? And so then I look objectively, as if I'm an alien from another planet. Oh, okay, what's on the propaganda machine? Oh, this is what the people call their source, right? Their source of information. And And on every news channel, they're saying, Ariana Grande, Ariana Grande, Ariana Grande. The Ariana Grande concert in Manchester, Ariana Grande, Ariana Grande, Ariana Grande. Today in Manchester, there was a terrible accident and a terrible terrorist accident. Some terrorist did something. They literally say, terror, 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 terror. They are just trying to scare you. Plain and simple.
Okay. So, to get into this a little bit, yeah, they do use a lot of fear tactics on the news. They do. It is about ratings, so they are definitely going to go for the story that is the juicier fruit, to say. But in that case, your ass should be happy because it was other shit going on when your motherfucking tirade came out that unless you was in the know, once again, don't nobody know who the fuck you are. That's called the news cycle. It's been like that. It ain't just got that way. See, we was complaining about that a long time ago. Same thing happened with Black Lives Matter, but this is what I'm saying. Same thing happened with Black Lives Matter. See, we already knew cops was targeting black people and just killing them for no reason. We already knew that as black people. We knew that. That shit been going on since the civil rights era. We knew that. And the only reason we getting the news coverage is because everybody got a cell phone and motherfuckers started taping that shit. As soon as cops pulled up, like, y'all hunting motherfuckers, and then you see somebody get killed live on Facebook. Now y'all believe us. It's not no different with this. But check this out. You want to compare a terrorist attack, or for that matter, any mass shooting, to a 40-car pileup. Here's the thing. And this is the truth. It's called calculated risk. Okay? That's what it's called. It's called calculated risk. A 40-car pileup is only news in the area where that 40-car pileup took place. Even if the same 22 people get killed. That's not a national issue. It's a local issue. So if that was going on at the same time, yeah, they talking about this terrorist attack, but best believe wherever that 40-car pileup was, where 22 people died in that area, oh, that shit is the top story. Make no motherfucking mistake. That's number one. Number two, you right. Somebody could have just went on the road and said, I'm going to do this today. But without a note or anything like that, we don't know that. But we have proof that this was a person that was a suicide bomber and blew themselves up. We got proof. Because that's not normal. That's what makes it news. Because that's not normal. Car accidents happen every day. Somebody running up in a school and shooting is not normal. So yes, do I agree they do the shit to scare you? Absolutely. But part of it to scare you is for ratings, and part of it is to scare you because they trying to tell you shit is different now. I'm gonna tell y'all the honest to God truth. When I was in high school, and like I said, I'm from the inner city, but I did not go to an inner city school. However, they had closed one of the inner city schools and they had to distribute to kids, so my school started slowly becoming an inner city school. By the time I graduated, about a year after that, full-fledged inner city school. So, somebody ran in my school and shot. Now it would be news to say they caught somebody with a gun in the school. That would make the national news. Somebody ran in my school in 1993 with a gun and let off shots. These motherfuckers was not trying to let us out the building. We was running out the building. They was trying to keep us out the building. They was trying to lock the school down. Because they didn't want to have to explain that to parents and shit. You know why? Because your kid's supposed to be safe at school. That's why when somebody run in a movie theater and shoot up, you goddamn right that's national news. That shit's not supposed to fucking happen. But it's no different than a plane crash. Now you talking all that yin yang, well how come we ain't talking about that? But if it would have been a plane crash, that shit would have been national news. And I'm not talking about terrorist attack, plane crash, I mean just system failed, plane crash. But that shit would have been national news, because that's not fucking normal. Calculated risk. People get in car accidents every day.
That's it.
Let me see.
And you want to sit there and tell me that I'm an asshole for pointing out that the propaganda machine is pumping you full of shit that makes no sense? No sense. Because the fucking family in Nebraska that lost an entire family involved in a pileup with an asshole who literally rammed their car, caused a 40-person pileup. You're going to tell me that that fucking guy is not talked about? And that people aren't getting an example set of like, oh look, definitely don't do this on the freeway. No, we're not getting that. So then I go, well, why are we getting the other thing? Why are we getting the terrorist?
Okay, well I didn't already explain this to y'all why you wrong about
and
that.
I sit there and I go, well, it sort of looks like to me, since I've been in the music industry and I've seen that there are 3 big corporations and one propaganda owner that owns the fucking radio, that's probably, they're probably looking to make money, right? So that's good. So the CNN, Fox News, and MSNBC make a lot of money, right? Cool. All right, so we're filling the pockets of those people who are doing honorable work, right? Nope. Okay, so then we are actually, what are we actually doing? We are literally being spoon-fed things to make us spend money. And anything that causes fear makes you spend money, because this is how it works. You get scared, and then you feel terrible, right? So you go home and you can't.
Okay, I'm done with him. Because this is long and now I got to edit it and I wasn't trying to do all that. Check this out. I'm not going to say everything he's saying is a load of shit. Because a lot of what he's saying, it's a lot of truth to it. Like, yes, but I just said that. At the end of the day, that's a business. We don't have the same journalistic integrity in our news programming and things like that as we used to. So yeah, there is some truth to that. However, do I feel like a company sent somebody in there to kill people at the Ariana Grande concert just cause? No, I don't. We already talked about that. I shot holes to the theory of why this man that caused the 40-car pileup is not news. But here's the thing. He said, he's in the music industry, blah, 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 etc. And I understand all that. And is there a certain truth to it being a propaganda machine? It absolutely is. However, some of the shit you saying sound like tinfoil hat. Okay? Just some of it. It's some truth to it. Some of the stuff that he is saying, I definitely believe there is some basis of truth, and however you doing the burden, you took it too far. And again, I'm going to bring this up for the last time tonight. You supported the motherfucker that ran a whole election based on fear. Just saying. So, now you backpedaling, pussy popping. Or maybe you not. Maybe you feel like you still supporting Trump. But everything you saying, you like a jumbo shrimp right now. You an oxymoron. You a walking contradiction. I don't understand. So, this long enough. I'm going to wrap it up. Y'all know what it is. Subscribe. Patreon. Watch some other videos. I got to go. This is